Hello everyone, my name is Gabrielle and I recently went raw vegan back in September of 2024. So I wanted to come on and make a video to show you all the staples that I keep in my kitchen to help me with my journey. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below and let's get to the video. Alright, so let's start with the nuts and seeds section of my pantry. So I have a lot here, but I have raw cashews. That's good for making a lot of ingredients and recipes that call for something to be creamy. So I'll use raw cashews a lot. Pine nuts, organic hemp hearts. I do have these here. This is so small. This package looks big, but it's only about this much in here. So I found these on Amazon just so I won't have to keep buying them. I was buying hemp seeds like every week. I have some raw whole Brazil nuts, pumpkin seeds, pecan halves, chia seeds. I use that a lot for my smoothies. Walnuts. You'll need a lot of walnuts if you're eating like tacos, anything like that that's like meaty. Again, here's more Brazil nuts, sunflower seeds, peanuts. I keep them in a freezer bag because that bag doesn't close well. Out of all of these nuts and seeds, the biggest staples you'll probably want to have on hand when you're on your raw vegan journey is the raw cashews. Chia seeds. These are good if you're making smoothies. Hemp hearts, again, very good if you're making smoothies. And really anything. You can put these in dressings. You could just top your salad with these. These are good to have. Walnuts. Again, if you're making like raw vegan tacos, this is good to have. And sunflower seeds, not pumpkin seeds. Here we go. Sunflower seeds. These are good to have as well. These are the staples I would say have. Now, these don't go bad, so if you are stocking your cabinet, yeah, you may want to get some Brazil nuts. You may want to get some peanuts. You may even want to get some pecans. Pecans are good, too, if you're doing raw vegan tacos. You could switch these out with the almonds or combine both if you want to do it like that. You don't need pistachios. Those aren't necessarily needed as a staple. All right, so next is the nut butter section of my pantry. So here I have some raw almond butter, raw cashew butter that I haven't used, raw tahini. This is tahini as well. And then I have peanut butter. Now this peanut butter, I don't know if it's raw, but the only ingredient is organic peanuts. So, I use it. It's unsalted and it's unsweetened. You don't have to have all of these. I would say you definitely want to probably have the raw tahini because you'll be making your own dressings on this lifestyle, and tahini is a good base for dressings. Or you can use sesame seeds, which I just showed in a previous clip, and you can grind it up. However, put it in a blender or a food processor and make your own tahini, but I just buy it. So again, you don't need all of this to start. And this doesn't go bad. Some tahinis do need to be stored in the refrigerator. This particular brand doesn't require it to be stored in the refrigerator. Okay, so the next section of my pantry is the onion and garlic section. I use garlic a lot. I love garlic, so I put it in a lot of dressing recipes. Really any type of recipe, I use some garlic, and then a variety of onions. So I like red onion for my guacamole and salads. This is a sweet onion, white onion. I think this is a yellow onion, shallots, and more shallots. And I also do green onions, but I keep those in the refrigerator. You can store your onions in the pantry in a dark space until you cut it. Once you cut it, then you probably want to go ahead and put it in the refrigerator to continue to keep it, and it'll last a few days. These uncut onions, they will last in the pantry for maybe a couple weeks. I'm not really sure. I don't suggest buying them in bulk, except maybe the garlic. The garlic has a pretty long shelf life, and you can have them on hand, but I don't suggest buying in bulk because then they may go bad. So I don't really buy a bag of red onions or a bag of white onions. I just buy maybe 1 or 2 at a time. Okay, so the next area I'm going to show you is my spice cabinet. Before I show you the actual cabinet, this is what I have on the counter. I don't keep it in the cabinet, I keep it in the pantry because it's just too big to fit. Nutritional yeast, you're gonna need this. Dulse flakes, maybe not as much. If you're making something that's like a seafood type of recipe, you may need this. It's a good substitute for salt if you're salt-free. But the nutritional yeast, you'll definitely want that. That's good to have if you're making like raw vegan tacos, if you want to make some cheese. I don't use the Bragg's brand. I know that's pretty popular. I use the non-fortified kind, so I get this from Amazon. And then the next section is the actual spice cabinet. Now, you don't need all of these. I had a lot of this prior to going raw vegan, and then I added some additional things. I would say you definitely want a quality salt if you're going to use salt and you're not opposed to it. I have this Redmond Ancient Fine Sea Salt. I also have Celtic Sea Salt. I use these kind of interchangeably. They don't taste any different, in my opinion. And then I have this grinder. This is just from Publix, so do with that what you will, but I do have that. Some other things you may actually want to have if you don't want to go overboard: cayenne pepper, red pepper flakes, smoked paprika. Technically not raw because it's smoked, but you're going to use this in a lot of recipes. Garlic powder, onion powder. You see, I'm almost out, and I use this a lot. I used it a lot in my prior life too, but I use this a lot. You may want to get basil. I have another basil here. You don't necessarily need it. If you're doing something that you want to taste like chicken, you could get this. Again, not necessary to have. Pepper, you're going to want to have pepper for sure. That's a staple. I have some white pepper there, not a staple. And then up here, this is a staple for me, adobo. I use that for my guacamole. You may want to have an Italian. All of this, you probably don't need. This section on my second shelf in my pantry is the stuff that I don't use as much. So I have some celery seeds, some cumin. You may want to have cumin to make your taco meat with, some nutmeg. Again, I don't use that often. Oregano, that's something you probably want to have. Fennel, that's good if you want that like sausage taste. But a lot of this stuff up here I don't use. This is the primary area that I use. I have some cinnamon here. Some of this stuff I don't use often. Really, the staples you need is the onion powder, garlic powder, crushed red pepper, paprika, smoked paprika, cayenne, a good salt, pepper. That's pretty much it. Up here, I have, again, some other stuff, all from DeKalb County Farmers Market. It's relatively cheap. If you do decide to stock your cabinet, these things don't go bad. So, you know, you'll have them for years before they may, like, technically expire. So these are just some things that I have here. Okay, so the next section of this spice cabinet is the vinegars. Now, everybody doesn't use vinegar on their raw vegan diet. I'm not opposed to it. I don't use it often, maybe less than once a month. The one that's probably used the most is the organic apple cider vinegar. Again, I don't use the Bragg's brand. I kind of get this one from Aldi. I have rice vinegar. I do have some sesame oil if I do make anything Asian inspired. I have some plum vinegar. I haven't used this yet. I'm not even sure what this is or why I bought it. I think I bought the wrong thing, but I've never used this. I honestly don't know what it is. And then I have some regular distilled white vinegar, some liquid smoke. I use that if I'm making like raw vegan tacos for the taco meat. And then up here, this I use a lot in my prior life, but red wine vinegar, balsamic vinegar, and white wine vinegar. I have Lazy Susan, so I bought this on Amazon, and then these little shelves are on Amazon as well to keep the spices kind of neat and organized, and I can, you know, they have like little levels to it, like a step almost. So those are the vinegars that I have. Again, I don't use them often. If you're not somebody who's going to use vinegars, you don't need vinegars in your cabinet. All right, so the next two staples that have been making my raw vegan journey easier is 100% organic maple syrup and organic agave nectar. Technically, I don't think either of these two are raw, but you know, it is what it is. I'm still using it and I'm just fine. I'm still seeing results. So I would say I'm high raw vegan. Okay, so the next section, this is out of the refrigerator, are the condiments. So you would probably want to get a variety of mustards. I have yellow mustard, spicy brown, and Dijon. All of these are from Sprouts. You want to check the ingredients just to make sure, you know, there's nothing sneaky in there. And all of these look pretty good. So I use these in dressings, or if I make like a raw vegan burger, I'll put some mustard on it and make some homemade ketchup. The next thing is organic sriracha chili sauce. I got this from Amazon. I think they have some at Sprouts, but I got this from Amazon. Now this does have some xanthan gum, not sure what that is, and some cane sugar, but I don't use this very often, even though it kind of looks like it. I do have some organic Worcestershire sauce. Don't make fun of me. I don't know how to say that big word, but yeah, that word. And this is gluten-free, vegan. And I think I got this maybe from Amazon. The regular sauce of this is not vegan. So you want to make sure if you're going to use this, use a vegan version. Coconut Aminos, I love her. This is like a soy sauce replacement. I like this brand. Bragg's is very popular. I will get Bragg's if Sprouts is out of this kind, but I prefer this over the Bragg's. I don't know. I don't know if I trust Bragg's like that. And then chickpea miso. I'm not opposed to regular miso. I'm just out, but I have some chickpea miso, and I'm going to go and get some more regular miso. I've been using it a lot this week for my meals. So that's why I'm out of the regular miso. But if you're opposed to soy, then I would say probably use the chickpea miso instead. Okay, so the next section is the dried fruit, and I would say call it the gourmet section if you're going to be using your dehydrator. So starting with the dried fruit, dates are going to be your best friend. These typically are stored in the refrigerator. I pulled them out just for this section. There are some that don't need to be stored in the refrigerator. I get these from Sprouts. They're gluten-free, vegan, no preservatives, and raw. So I always have dates on hand. You never know. I use that in a lot of recipes. Then I have organic dried tomatoes. I got these from DeKalb County Farmers Market. I also like this brand from Sprouts. Can't really see it, but Melissa's. I like this brand as well. I don't get the dried tomatoes that are in oil. I prefer these kind. Coconut shreds. I use this for a dessert that I make. It's like carrot cake, and I just put this as the topping just to kind of like top it off. So these are pretty good. I think you could probably use these in like a smoothie. So, but I only use it when I make that like dessert that's kind of like carrot cake. I do have some raisins from Sprouts. I only use these at Thanksgiving time for a salad that I made. Same with the cranberries. So the raisins and the cranberries may not be a staple for you. I do have them. They don't go bad for a long time. So if I ever need them, I have it on hand. I have some dried onions that I use in a lot of sauces. I got this from Amazon. And then I have for the like gourmet, if you're making stuff in a dehydrator, almond flour, whole flax seeds, psyllium husk. Raw Food Romance uses this in a few of her recipes, so I do have some on hand. Again, some more raw flax seeds and some flaxseed meal. Now, I don't know if this is technically raw. I got this from Aldi, but it's just milled brown flaxseed. As a raw vegan, having frozen fruit on hand would probably be a good idea. I use them a lot in my smoothies. So I get this from Sam's Club. This is like a berry blend, triple berry blend. This is mixed fruit. I like this because they have it in little sections, so you can use a whole section or half a section. They have the nutrition facts on it. Now, the only thing is these two are not organic, but I'm fine with that. And then behind here, I have some frozen veggies. I like the corn. I'll thaw the corn out and use it in like a taco salad. Some of these veggies I use for my son, for his dinners. And then I do have some organic strawberries and organic blueberries. Again, these are from Sam's Club. And I like to buy it in bulk. That way I don't have to keep going to the store like Aldi. They sell organic blueberries, but it's so small. I would be buying blueberries every day. And I use blueberries and strawberries a lot in my smoothies. Here's like an example. This is from, my fridge is beeping because the doors are been open too long. Season's Choice, mango chunks, frozen bananas. I don't buy frozen bananas. I buy regular bananas, wait till they're ripe, and I put them in a freezer bag. And again, this is for my son, but more frozen veggies for him. I have some frozen jackfruit from Whole Foods. Tastes pretty good. Some more frozen corn that I use. Frozen peas, you could thaw those out and make some guacamole with peas instead of avocado if you're trying to be lower fat. But yeah, this is the freezer. Okay, and so the last section is in my actual refrigerator, and it is lemon and lime. Now, I always have lemon and lime on hand. I use lemon, at least a half a lemon every day for my hot water in the morning that I drink, and lime because I make a lot of guacamole, so I use lime quite often. You can swap these two out if you have one but don't have the other in a recipe. You will use this a lot in recipes as well. You can use this in place of vinegar. If you don't want to use vinegar, you could use that instead. But I always have lemon and lime in my refrigerator. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Talk to you in the next video.